welcome back to my channel and to another video. I hope you're all really well and that you're not too stressed in this lead up to Christmas time and that you're enjoying all the festive activities and things that are going on at the moment. We've got about 2 days left of the school term before my children break up, so I just feel like it's in that manic time where there's so much going on and I feel like there's so much that I need to get done before they break up from school. And the last 2 days of school are actually half days as well. One of them tomorrow is my daughter's Christmas concert, which is really nice. I'm so pleased that we can actually go and see Christmas concerts this year. It's been really nice to have those back. And then my son is finishing a half day on Friday. So yeah, it feels like there's not too far to go now before we break up for Christmas time. So that's really nice. So I hope you're all keeping well. So I've got a bit of a bumper show and tell kind of video for you today because I haven't shared a makes video in so long, and I think I've got makes from around October time. I think some of the things that I've got to share today I was making in the October half-term holiday. So I've got a few makes to talk about and I'll look forward to sharing them with you today. So one of the makes that I've got to share is actually what I'm wearing, but I'm going to leave that to the end because I have shared a little bit about this make before. But if you are interested in this one, then do stay tuned to the end because I have a little bit of news about this make that you might be interested in if you do like this pattern. So since I've got quite a lot to share with you today, I'll get straight into it and start with the first thing that I made, and that is this little jersey dress that I made for my daughter. And I made this at the beginning of the October half term, so quite a while ago now. So basically I bought this little iron-on Panda transfer ages ago from Amazon with the idea that I'd make her something with it and put it on. And then I wasn't quite sure what to make, and then I thought I would make the jersey dress that I made for her quite a while ago, and I do have a video of how to make this dress, so I'll link it below if you are interested. But basically it's a little jersey dress that I made up just using a t-shirt pattern and then just a quick self-drafted skirt. And it's a really quick and easy make, and it's the kind of dress that she wears so often, so I thought it would be a really good one to make for her. And then as you can see, I've just included this little patch pocket here, and then I've ironed on the Panda transfer, and it's actually stuck really well. Sometimes if I do iron on transfers, I tend to sew around the edge just to make sure that they hold, but this one seems to be stuck really fast on, so that's really good. So I made this with a really lovely cotton jersey from Minerva, and it's just a really simple kind of cotton jersey, and it's got a lovely lilac stripe to it. It's on a white background. So yeah, that's a really quick and easy make that I just whipped up for her in half term, and she really likes wearing these kinds of dresses with tights and leggings and things. And I think she just feels comfortable and things like that, so I knew she'd probably get a lot of wear out of that. So the pattern that I used to make that dress was this t-shirt pattern, which I've shown quite a few times in the past now. I picked this up ages ago at the Knitting and Stitching show. It's just a basic t-shirt pattern from Stop and Still, and you buy these patterns by size. So this size here is 122 centimetres, and I've had it for a good few years now and it's still going. It's still fitting her at the moment, and I think this time I just added a centimetre to each of the side seams on the t-shirt bodice, and yeah, that was fine. It's been a really good pattern, this has, and it only cost me about £2, but I just find it so versatile. So I think what I did to make the bodice of the t-shirt was just measured against a different dress that she had that was quite similar, and I knew that the bodice fell in the right place. So I cut my t-shirt pattern according to that measurement, roughly. And then for the skirt, I just literally cut 2 rectangles, and I think all I did actually was fold the width of the fabric in half and just cut down the middle, and that was roughly around 2 times the width of the bodice. Roughly. This was a bit of a wing it kind of make, but it worked okay. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. Just a quick and easy sew, and as I say, I'll link that video of how I made the dress, the first one I made for her, in the description if you are interested to see how I made it. So the next 2 dresses I made were actually 2 makes in collaboration with Makerist and Spoonflower. So Makerist and Spoonflower were running a competition over on Instagram called the Mummy and Me Sewing Challenge, and the idea of that competition was that you sewed up a garment for both yourself and a little one. It could be your daughter or your son or your grandchild or whatever, and you use the same pattern for both yourself and your children. So Makerist kindly invited me to be involved in that challenge, and I was able to choose some fabric from Spoonflower. And I chose one of the Makerist patterns from their website, and I chose the Cassiope dress and the Cassiope mini dress for Lily. So these are the dresses. So this is the Cassiope mini dress that I made for Lily. By the way, I do go into a little bit more detail on both of these dresses in a previous video, so I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much here. I hope it's not going to be overkill, but just to quickly show you these two dresses. So this is the Cassiope mini dress that I made for Lily. So I've made the Cassiope mini dress in the past and I really loved it. It's such a quick, simple sew. And for a little girl, I just think it's a really lovely dress. It buttons up at the back, so it's really easy to get on and off. And yeah, it's just a really lovely little girl's dress and it comes together really nicely and really quickly. And the only change that I've made to this pattern this time is just to add a frill down the raglan seams, which I think looks really cute. Although in this fabric it is quite a busy fabric, so you probably can't quite see the frills very well there, but they are there. But this fabric is lovely. This is a spoonflower print. So basically, if you haven't heard of spoonflower, they have thousands of designs on their website. You go through and you choose a design you like and you can have it printed on your choice of background, of fabric background. So for these dresses I went for a poly crepe fabric, which is really lovely and silky, and it was really nice to work with. The only thing I'd say about this fabric is that it can be slightly static, so it's probably a good thing to wear a slip or something underneath it so that you don't stick to your tights or whatever. But yeah, I just love this print. And I made this in October time, so it was just perfect for kind of autumn time, and I love the colours in it and everything. So that's Lily's dress. And then I made the adult version of the Cassiope dress by Patterns, and it's exactly the same really. The only difference in the adult version is that it doesn't have a button-up back. And I believe there is a hack on the Patterns website which tells you how to add in a button band if you want to. But for this version I decided to keep it really simple and just go for no fastenings at all, so you literally just pull this over your head. So this is a really quick and easy pattern. I sewed this up so quickly. There are no sleeves to set in because there are raglan seams on the sleeve, but there are no fastenings, as I say. And yeah, it's just a really super quick and easy sew. So if you're a beginner looking for a really quick dress pattern, this is a really great one to try. So I'll link all the details to the pattern and fabric below in case you're interested in checking that one out too. The next thing I made was the lovely Patina Blouse by Friday Pattern Company. So this was another pattern that as soon as it came out I knew I wanted to try and make, because I just love the style of it. I love the collar here and I love that it's just a button down, quite kind of vintagey blouse I suppose. I think the collar's a little bit vintage. But yeah, I just love the style of it. So you can make this up as either a long sleeve or a short sleeve blouse, and you can see that the model's wearing the short sleeve version. But you can also make it up as a long sleeve version, and the long sleeve version has a really lovely gathered cuff and a proper cuff and a buttonhole. And yeah, I really liked that style. I just think it's really kind of classic, and yeah, I'll show you my version now. So here's my version in this lovely viscose poplin fabric from Abercon Fabrics. This is part of their autumn and winter range, and I just love this colour scheme. I really like the purple and the green and the beige in here. It's quite different for me actually. I normally go for blues and things, but yeah, I just love this purple and green and beige colour. This is such a super soft viscose. It's really lovely, and it was really nice to work with as well. So I hope you can see all the details in this blouse, because again the fabric is quite busy. But I've got my collar here, so I've gone for the long sleeve version, and obviously the pointy collar because you can't not have that. And then I've got my lovely gathered cuffs with a little buttonhole there and button. And I just found this such a lovely sew. So I sewed this together over about 3 days and I tried to take my time with it. And it was just really nice and I found it really calming. I really like making collars, and this one is just such a lovely one to make. It sits really flat. I did interface this one actually with a really thin interfacing, so it's not too stiff and it just sits really nicely. So it's a flat collar, and then the back is kind of finished with a facing, and then the facing kind of runs down to the button band and everything. The button band is a different facing that you attach onto the neck facing. I hope I'm explaining this right. But basically it all comes together really nicely. And I was worried that it was going to be quite a difficult sew, but I don't know if you've used Friday Pattern Company patterns before. They're really quite clear instructions and they include quite a lot of pictures and things. And also, if you watch Friday Pattern Company's YouTube channel, they have a sew along on this blouse as well. So I watched the whole sew along before I even cut out my fabric, and I found that really helpful. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. I forgot to say as well that the back actually has a lovely yoke detail here, and then the back is kind of gathered into the yoke, and that's a really pretty finish as well. So I just open up the cuff sleeve as well so that you can see that it's got the kind of cuff slit thing. Is that called anything? Let me know if that's actually called anything. I don't know. I'm just calling it a cuff slit. But yeah, that's what the cuff looks like, and that was really nice to do actually. It's really kind of therapeutic. So yeah, that's my patina blouse. Next I made another one for my daughter, and this was one of my Minerva makes, so it was one of my brand ambassador makes, in this lovely fleece back hedgehog print sweatshirt in fabric. The inside of this is really cozy, I'll just show you. So it's really fleece lined, and it's quite thick, so it's that proper kind of sweatshirt in fabric. And with this I made her a jumper dress that she can just wear with leggings and things like that, or tights. And she really loves animals, I think I've mentioned before, so I thought this hedgehog print would be perfect for her. And she loves anything cozy and easy to wear at the moment as well. So I've been wanting to make a kind of sweatshirty jumper dress for her for quite a while, similar to the Billie dress. And I just decided to use a sweatshirt pattern that I had already in my pattern stash. And then I doubled the bottom band here just to give it a bit more length, but also to give it that jumper dress feel. So it kind of brought it in a bit more at the bottom and gave it that rounded shape. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. And again, it was just a quick, super speedy sew. It was really nice to make. I quite like the raglan seams on it because I think that sits really nicely on her shoulders and it just fits her really well. So I'll show you the pattern that I used for that one. So the pattern I used again for that dress was another cheapie from Stop and Still. So I actually bought this for my son quite a while ago, who's grown out of this. I think I made him one sweatshirt from this pattern and then he grew out of it and I couldn't make him anymore. So I've kind of given up making things for him now because he just grows out of things so quickly. But yeah, I thought it would be a really good one to make for Lily. So this pattern's actually 140 centimetres, which she probably is around that now actually. But she has another jumper dress ready to wear one. So I used the length of that to judge where I wanted the length of my jumper dress to fall. And it was pretty much bang on the hem of this pattern. So I really just made up the sweatshirt as it was. It was a bit long for her anyway. And it was quite wide, so I knew it would go over her hips and everything. And then just to add that bit of length, as I say, I just doubled the length, the height. I doubled the height of the bottom band just to give it a bit more height and to bring it in a little bit more. And that was a really simple, quick and easy sew. So I'm really pleased with that one. I'll probably be making her a couple more of those actually, because yeah, a really nice sew, and I know that she'll wear that kind of thing a lot as well. So that was a good one. My next three makes are actually three different versions of exactly the same pattern, and that is the Billie jumper and dress by Tilly and the Buttons. So I'm pretty sure that you've probably seen this pattern before. It's been a popular one, and I know that I've shared it quite a lot in the past. But this is the Billie dress and jumper by Tilly and the Buttons. So I've made a couple of versions of the sweatshirt or the jumper before, and I've shared them on videos previously, but I'd not yet made a version of the jumper dress, so I thought I'd give that a go. So my first Billie that I made was this lovely, I'm not quite sure what colour you would call this, I guess it's beige really, or cream maybe, but it's a lovely fleece back sweatshirting anyway, and it's, I'm going to call it cream. It's a cream with a gold glitter fleck running through it. It's really lovely. And the inside is really fleecy and cozy. So it's like a proper sweatshirt in fabric. And I absolutely love it. And I brought this and the pink colourway of this in the Sew Me Sunshine Black Friday sale. And I'm so pleased I got it in the end because I've been eyeing up these fabrics for quite a while. I think there's a navy and a grey in these fabrics as well, and they're all really lovely. But I went for the cream and the pink in the end. So for this version I've made the Billie jumper. Hold it up like that so you can see. So this is the normal Billie jumper, and I've just made a balloon cuff. So I've made the balloon sleeve version a couple of times now, and although I initially loved them, I don't feel that comfortable with the ballooniness at the shoulder. so I don't tend to reach for them and wear them as much as I feel I should. But I really like the balloon at the cuff. So this time I decided to adapt the sleeve pattern slightly, and I've just gone for the standard or regular shoulder, and then I've still done the balloon at the cuff. And the way that I did that was in short. So I laid my regular sleeve on top of my balloon sleeve pattern, matched up all of the points so that I knew I had them the same, like the centre point and then the armhole points and things like that. And then I redrew the regular sleeve head, and then I just graded from the armholes of the regular sleeve pattern down to the bottom of the balloon sleeve cuff, and made myself a completely new sleeve pattern. And luckily, I wasn't quite sure how that would turn out, but luckily it worked okay. So it was a bit of a faff trying to get all of this fabric into this cuff, because this sweatshirting is actually quite thick. But I got there in the end. My overlocker was really good. It didn't complain too much, and I managed to get it all gathered in. And so I have to say that this version, I feel like it suits me much better, and I just feel so much more comfortable wearing the non-balloon head. Doesn't sound quite right, does it? But yeah, I'm really pleased that I made that change, and I think it's one that I'm going to be making again in the future. What I might do next time is actually reduce this a little bit as well, because it is still quite voluminous. So I might just reduce that slightly next time as well. I think if this fabric was a bit lighter, it wouldn't look quite so puffy, but yeah, for a big thick sweatshirting fabric, it is quite a lot to gather into your cuff. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that one, and I think it'll be quite nice and Christmassy to wear over Christmas time. It's casual, but it's got a bit of sparkle to it as well, so I'm really pleased with that one. So here's my next Billie. So this one is the dress version, and as I say, I've not made the dress version at all, so I didn't go for any ballooniness on this one. This just has the regular sleeve. I just wanted a relaxed fit kind of sweatshirt dress, so that's what I've got in this one. And I knew that I'd need to reduce the length of it quite a lot, because seeing other versions and talking to other people about the pattern, I knew that it came up quite long, and I wanted more of a tunic length that I could wear with thick tights or leggings or whatever. So I took 15 centimetres off of the length of this, and I just did that at the lengthen and shorten lines, and I haven't included any pockets in this one. I think if I was going to include pockets, you'd actually need to take up the height of the pockets if you're going to make that kind of change to the length, because I basically cut into the pocket lines by reducing the length that much, if that makes sense. So yeah, if I ever want to add pockets, I'll need to think about how to draft those in. But yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled with this, really. It came together so quickly and so nicely. And this, yeah, is exactly what I wanted, really. I just feel like sometimes, because a lot of my life is at home, I'm working at home, or I'm walking the dog, or I'm doing the school run or whatever, sometimes I just want clothes that are kind of casual, but okay enough to feel like you're put together, if you know what I mean. So jumper dresses and things like that are perfect, really, because you can just wear them with leggings and boots, and they're really comfy to be at home in as well. So I just wanted to quickly whip up a couple of those. So that's my pink version, and it's exactly the same fabric as the gold I've just showed you. It's just the pink colourway, and this one has a lovely silver sparkle running through it, so it just gives it that little bit of extra sparkle. And then, because I love my pink version so much, I immediately cut out another version using this grey cable knit fabric, and you might remember that I've showed this a couple of times in fabric hauls and fabric stash videos and plans videos, and I've never actually got around to making anything with it. But I thought this would make up another really nice Billie dress, just a standard one again, no pockets or anything. And I've just made the same change to the length, so it falls around tunic length. And again, I'm just really pleased with this. And I'm really glad to have both of those in my wardrobe. I think they'll be really good ones. So that's that one. Probably not too much more to say about that, really, other than super speedy sew. I think I cut this out in about 20 minutes, and then I sewed it up in under an hour, because I had an hour before the school run yesterday, actually. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do a bit of sewing and see how far I get. And I'd finished it before I needed to go to school, and I was amazed. But I think if you're not adding pockets or anything like that, it's just so quick to make. It's literally just a few seams, really, isn't it? And then putting the bands in. They always take a little bit longer. But yeah, very, very quick, that one. So I'm sure there'll be a few more of those coming into my wardrobe sometime soon. So lastly, just to share what I'm wearing, and I have talked a little bit about this in a previous video. So again, I don't want to repeat myself too much. But I'm wearing my finished Lighthouse sweater by We Are Knitters. So this was a kit that I've been working on for a while, and I absolutely love the finished result. I'm so pleased with this, and it's so cozy to wear. Because the yarn was quite thin when I was knitting it up, I was worried it was going to be one of those jumpers that was sort of really fluffy but quite holey, so it doesn't really keep you warm. But it's really snuggly, and I'm actually getting quite hot talking to you wearing this in this video. So yeah, super pleased with this. It's such a lovely, easy pattern, and I found it really nice to do because I think my previous knit before this was my blue cardigan with the lace at the front, so it was a really nice palette cleanser kind of knit really that I could just sit there and do. And because you've got the stripes, you do have that interest there, so you are always changing up the colours, and you're counting your rows and things. So I found it quite a nice mindful knit really that I could just sit there and do. And I always find stripes or anything that you've got to do in a repetitive pattern, it always knits up quite quickly, because I always feel as though I need to finish my stripe blocks before I can stop. So this was a super quick knit. I think I knit it in around a month. I'd recommend it if you are a beginner knitter because it's really easy. So the back and the front are the same. There's a raglan seam here if you can't see it from me wearing it. And the sleeves are raglan as well, obviously. And then you just pick up your stitches around the neckline and knit the rib and then sew it all together. So it is knit in separate pieces that you seam together. But yeah, I found it a really lovely knit. I'd highly recommend it. I didn't soak block this year. I just laid it all out and measured it and everything, and then I sprayed it and left tea towels on it to dry, and I hope that'll be okay. I'm a little bit nervous of washing this. It does say hand wash, so I'll definitely hand wash it, but I am always a little bit nervous still of blocking things. I still feel a little bit as if I don't quite know what I'm doing with blocking, and I'm always a little bit nervous to soak things after I've spent so long making them. But I know so many people have told me that it's fine to do that, and actually it really sets your stitches and it finishes off your garment nicely. So I've got to be braver about doing that. So my news relating to this pattern is that if you are on Instagram, tomorrow, as you're watching this, so Monday the 20th, I might have a sneaky giveaway over on Instagram involving this sweater. And a collaboration with We Are Knitters, which I'm super excited about. So if you do like this pattern and you are interested in knitting this kit for yourself, then pop over to my Instagram tomorrow, and yeah, there might be something exciting up for grabs over there tomorrow. It is only an Instagram collaboration, I'm afraid, so I'm really sorry if you're not on Instagram, but I will link my Instagram details below as well, just in case you want to pop over and check that out. Super exciting. So that brings me to the end of all of my makes, and I think I'm up to date now. The only thing that I've got cut out to sew, which I'm really hoping to get done before Christmas, is my Davenport dress in that lovely Atelier Brunette viscose rayon fabric. I've got all that cut out ready to go now, and I'm really hoping to get that sewn up before Christmas time. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's my last video of 2021, which is really strange. I can't quite believe we're at this time of the year. This year seems to have flown by. And even though it's been a bit of an up and down year, still quite strange in many ways. Lots of things have happened, lots of things have changed. But yeah, it's been a really speedy year. If you have any questions about any of the makes that I've shared today, then obviously do leave me a comment below. And as always, just leave me a comment and let me know what you're up to and what you're making. Are you making any gifts this year? I'd really love to know. I haven't made a single gift this year because I just find it too stressful, to be honest. So I haven't made any gifts this year, which is really nice and quite relaxing. But let me know if you are making any gifts. I'd love to know. So as we come to the end of the year, I just want to say thank you again to everyone who's watched my videos this year, for all of your likes and comments, and the chats that we have in the comments of these videos and everything. It really does mean a lot, and I'm so grateful to everyone who watches my videos and everyone who supports me here and on Instagram. It is really such a lovely community, this sewing community on YouTube and on Instagram, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a lovely Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Bye.